Okay, Stephen Kumala, Heavens Apart is the short film. It's from Canada. You're from Toronto, correct?
I'm from Toronto, yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing this podcast late at night, both of us in Toronto. How come you're why'd you schedule? I'm just curious. Why'd you schedule so late and you like late night?
Ooh, yeah, I've got something planned out today, so I had to do a bunch of stuff. And just before this podcast, I had to do some editing. So I usually um save my Saturdays for a lot of just
Getting things
work
done?
from work, getting things
Yeah,
done. So that's
yeah.
why I thought, just schedule it at night just to be safe.
It says on Film Freeway, this is your first film. Is that correct? Your first directed film?
Yeah, so Heavens Apart is my first independent film outside of college. I've made a little bit little films here and there in college to practice my to hone my craft, but this is my first independent film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
Centennial College. I went to school at Centennial College. I took broadcasting and film there.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Was it worthwhile? I did a similar thing, similar program.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great for me because I came in, not knowing a single thing about just
Oh,
filmmaking.
okay.
But a lot of I met some really great people, great faculty. So I would say it's worthwhile. Uh, yeah, I would say it's worthwhile. Although a lot of the stuff that I did learn, I also learned outside. But uh,
Gotcha. So this is a pretty great story. It's a short film about a mom coming back. She goes to prison, Chinese community, Canadian Chinese family, and then her daughter is obviously 15 years older, and she's kind of basically moved on with her life, of course, right? So where did this idea come from you? Like this kind of like mom kind of going to prison, coming back?
Yeah, so the idea for Heavens Apart kind of originated. Well, I wanted to first make a film where I can just go deep with character. And then
Yeah,
I began with just being interested with the idea of making a film about a mother and a daughter. Obviously, I've never experienced a mother and daughter relationship. So I was just somehow intrigued by that. And then after that, I became interested with exploring the theme of forgiveness. What does it take for someone to
yeah.
be forgiven and someone to forgive another person? And then so the script kind of developed from there on. And then as I wrote the script and as I developed it, it actually became personal,
Yeah.
actually became this sort of like metaphor for my experience because I'm in Toronto right now, but I actually come from Indonesia. My family's all there, and I left Indonesia to go to college here. So it's the film kind of touches on my relationship with my family. So that's how it came to be.
Kind of like you didn't go to prison, you just moved to a different country, I guess, right?
Yeah, so nobody went to prison. Oh, that's such an important. Thank you for pointing that out. Nobody, no,
Yeah.
we're still intact. So
Yeah. But you stayed though. You're staying in Canada?
yeah, I am staying in Canada.
Okay. So tell me about mother-daughter relationship. Is there a bigger film here or is it just a standalone short?
It's supposed to be a standalone short.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I see a bigger kind of like version of this kind of story, I guess, right?
Yeah, it is. It is sort of I guess you can almost it is sort of like almost like a feature film story kind of packed in 15 minutes,
Yeah.
which was kind of like the intention from the beginning. And then I, of course, learned that maybe not the best idea, but thankfully it worked. But no, it's not a prelude to like a feature film or a bigger story, unfortunately.
So, well, it could be. It
It could
could
be.
it could be if you want to explore it, I guess, right?
That is true. That is true.
So great, great casting, and I'm curious about like the child actor because she's fantastic. Where did you find her?
Um, I believe Facebook. I
Oh,
believe
really?
Facebook. I actually don't remember how we got her, but I think we did send out a casting call, Facebook, Mandy, the usual places, and then she was one of the few child actors who came in. She's a first-time child actor. She never acted before. Um, and it was actually I have to give credit to my producer, who actually pointed out that she was great. And then it turns out when she came first for the audition, I I can't help but notice that even though it was her first time, I could tell that she's intelligent. And we needed someone like the child actor needed to feel intelligent, that
Yeah.
she's not responding verbally, but we know that we get a sense that she kind of knows what's going on. So no, she's amazing. Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, it was like, I guess it's hard. You can't really direct kids, I guess, right?
Hmm.
So you just like like a lot of it's subtext, like you said, like a lot of it, like the scene with the cop at the front door.
Yeah.
It doesn't really say anything, but it's all in her face, right?
That was so much fun to
Yeah.
I had a lot of help with just it was my first time directing child actor and a
Yeah.
child actress, and I didn't know what to do. So I had a couple of people pour in some advice, but I we did do a lot of I remember just talking to her on Zoom before the shoot.
Yeah.
I just got to know her and just got to know her aspirations and just her relationship with her family, and hopefully try to make the film as relatable as possible, because she didn't know what the film was about. She only knew her parts. She didn't know the whole bit about the when her character grows up and then reunites with her mother. So she
Yeah.
just knew her part. So I tried to make it as relatable for her on set so that she could deliver the needed performance. But she was great.
Yeah, no, she was fantastic and like nice direction too. Like she's abandoned, right? Like it's like that's as simple as that. And you're like you know, that's gonna affect. She's a child. It's gonna affect her for the rest of her life, right? So which it has, right?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
But I love that shot where like you kind of just have it at like the whole like the shot of the she puts the mic thing in the microwave, then she's coming out, and it's just like
Mm.
just one shot, and the cop comes in, and you don't like overdo it. You kind of let the audience take in the emotion. You don't kind of over dramatize it. I thought it was a really subtle, some nice subtle direction. So
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, it just came out during screenwriting, and it's in the script, and it
yeah.
was sort of there when I first imagined it, and thankfully it worked because I realize now it's a risk. It was a risk that I took, but thankfully it worked just
Because
fine.
you didn't do coverage on that scene, you just kind of just did the one shot. You had trust
No,
him.
no coverage, just one shot.
Yeah,
That was the plan for the beginning. Um, yeah. In a way, I guess, a little bit of a extra explanation why we chose to do that is because the location is its own character.
yeah,
And I like just the part where she almost exits the frame to I believe to the right, and then the camera pans to the left.
yeah.
We catch her back. We meet her back when the camera goes full 180. And I
Yeah.
just love the fact that we're highlighting the location. So it was definitely one of my strong, like that shot just spoke so much before the shoot. So we had to do it. Yeah.
So speaking, you said the house is kind of like its own character. Where did you find the house?
Ooh. So location was definitely hard to find, especially because we were low on budget. But
Yeah.
eventually, again, on Facebook, Facebook is amazing. Someone did a filmmaker as well, w- um, agreed to rent out his house for a
Okay.
reduced price. So we were able to like shoot there, and it matched what the needs of the script. So yeah.
And then matching the child actor with the adult actor. Who did
Hmm.
you cast first?
That's a good question. I forgot. Okay, let me try to remember. Um, ooh, I think I would. Um, so what I remember, I don't remember which one. Maybe the adult, but what I
Yeah.
remember was I had to compare the different casting choices for each. character, the child, the adult, and the
Yeah.
mom, to see which one would also match physically. So I would say the adult, but we probably cast them together. We probably did.
Yeah. So yeah, I love the idea of forgiveness, right? Like
Mm.
it's something that it's a theme that basically is there, like I guess it's in certain films and stuff like that, but it's not really prominent. And it's like a because we all have to forgive, right? We're all, especially our family members, we're all flawed. And if someone seeks forgiveness, I guess it's it's like when someone says, "Okay, I fucked up, I made a mistake. This is who I am. I apologize. Let's move on." Then you can kind of like give in, right? Like that's sort of what, like I think you said in the in your director's kind of comment, it's like they're both kind of merging together to be to forgive each other, I guess, right?
Yeah. Forgiveness is such a forgiveness, the theme of the film being forgiveness is such a for me it's not just a matter of like I'm sorry, I forgive you, but it's so complex because I'm finding out in my own life you can forgive a person with regardless of if they ask for your forgiveness or not, right? Like it
Yeah.
can be something that you just choose to release. And um as I'm kind of exploring the theme of forgiveness for Abby, the character of Abby, the daughter and the mother, um, you know, okay, like what would it if they're going to separate, what would it take for them to kind of come to terms together? And I realized that, at least for me at that time, it was fear. Because
Yeah.
I do believe that I'm a firm believer that like, if we choose to withhold forgiveness, it's going to come back to us in some way in the future.
Like,
For
what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Ooh, well, I think it's just come for me, hurt people, um,
Yeah.
something like that. And you know, I can talk so long about that, but in the case of the character of Abby, with her, just the fear of the cycle repeating again.
Yeah.
And we've seen that. I think I've seen that a lot in the lives of like people around me, and even like on internet, just hearing people's stories where, oh, they didn't expect to end up like their parents, to relive the fate. Like
Yeah. It's kind
they
of a
read
scary. Yeah.
exactly. Almost the cycle repeating again.
It
And we
does all the time, right?
yeah,
The one who's abused gets is becomes the abuser, right?
exactly that. And that's what I was so fascinated about. Like how can we escape that? That's the whole thing
Got to
about
break the pattern, right?
exactly. Yes.
But how do you do that? You have to be consciously aware of it, and sometimes that's the trick because a lot of people are not consciously aware that they're becoming their parents, right?
True, very true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which yeah, I guess that's where forgiveness kind of plays for me.
Yeah. Because there's love. There's always going to be love. It's our mom, right? So
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
no matter what. But it's like that's that trauma though. Like she's a child and she's, you know what I mean? Like, well, first of all, that the way you casted the police officer, it was interesting because he's like got glasses. It's just like it was an interesting casting choice. I'm curious of why you picked that actor to play the officer.
Well, first of all, we worked together before, so I know
Okay.
that was great. But second of all, so I did have the choice of casting for the police officer. I
Yeah.
did have the choice of casting um the guy that ends up playing
Yeah.
Brad Pearson, or another guy, which was I believe he was like an ex police officer, so
Yeah.
definitely with experience. He's a bit like really buff and has a really kind of almost terrifying physique, like
Yeah.
facial structure. But I the script kind of wants someone who who- the police officer character almost becomes like a father figure.
Yeah.
So it has to be someone that can show compassion. Uh, um, and that's why I end up going with Brad because he's able to pull that off.
And then just because it was, I just found it interesting because you're right. He does become like an immediate support. He's like he feels for her, right? So, but and then so then the two, like the mom and the daughter, you always separate them, right, from frame. They're always separated from frame. They're never together in the same frame.
Yeah. Do you want me to speak on that?
No, obviously a conscious choice, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, with that, it was just for some reason I was kind of experimenting with different choices of camera coverage, right, for them, and it
yeah,
just an over the shoulder just never works. For some reason, it just didn't convey the level of I guess separation and
yeah,
that I wanted. So we had to shoot it singles. And it was also one of the risks where, because we get taught in film school, like if you want to shoot coverage, you need an over the shoulder. We didn't shoot any of that.
yeah,
Um, but the only time I believe you have both the mother and well, several times is just a wide angle at the beginning
yeah,
to establish the room. But other than that, it's all singles. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's like some nice work there. So for your first film, it's some solid work. I'm assuming you want to keep directing.
Absolutely, yes. I have another film, being mastered right now, and writing. I'm going to write another script. Hopefully, we can shoot that next year's. But I'm going to continue directing. That's the goal.
You've already done your second film. It's just in editing right now.
It's everything's done. It's being mastered, and I'm in the middle of publishing it online.
Oh, okay, great. And so then in terms of your crew, did you use the same crew again, or did you like, I'm curious about that.
I'm still with crew. I'm still finding there
Your
are people
people?
that I've worked again on this project.
Yeah.
There are people that I brought in again. I'm still kind of finding my gang. Um, but yeah, I worked with a lot of amazing people. Heavens Apart was a blast to work in. Like we had a lot of amazing people on set.
So did you work with the same cinematographer again?
I did not know. Our cinematographer, unfortunately, she decided to leave film.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I guess, different calling, so different path.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing, but she's not cinematographer, she's not doing cinematography anymore, which is kind of sad.
And
Yeah.
then you had an editor, right? You had like somebody working with it, and then obviously a sound designer.
Yeah, for Heavens Apart, we did have an editor. We did have a sound designer, colorist, composer. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and a little even a VFX artist, but we I did work with an editor on that.
Did a good team.
Yeah, it's a whole package.
Were a lot of them from people you met at school, or?
Facebook.
All right, so you're like the big Facebook guy. Like I thought your generation doesn't do Facebook anymore.
Well, that's where people hang out, so you got to be where people
Is that
where
where
they
they're hanging
are.
out? I thought they're hanging out on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, that's another good thing. But like, we have Facebook groups, so just post there, we're looking for people and they just pop. So
That's great. I love to hear that, especially in Toronto. So how do you like the Toronto film scene?
I love it. I mean, I come from Indonesia, so Toronto is like amazing for me. A lot of opportunities, I think for indie as well. Um, Yeah, I mean, we have we have TIFF here. We have people just also in the same boat, kind of making films, and also a lot of like set work as well. I know right now the industry is kind of slow in terms of set work,
Yeah.
but it's overall it's a great experience.
So you're so then like is it important for you to tell like stories of your culture? Is your next film about your culture to like the characters as well?
The current film that I'm doing is a romance, so nothing about the Asian culture. For me,
Okay.
a lot of it is just for me what's important, I mean, telling, exploring themes that are very, very personal for me is super important for me. Directing from a personal um from a personal lens. As far as culture, I come from Indonesia, so I'm not very much how do I say this? I'm not very much I'm like emotionally tied to kind of like my culture and my upbringing and stuff. But if it's something that feels very personal to me, like there's a snippet of it that feels personal for me, then I would bring it up. But other than that, I'm just yeah, whatever feels personal, like themes, then that's where I'm going. But right now I'm deep into romance. Uh,
Okay.
it's just something that so fun to just figure out just chemistry between two actors. It's just a lot of fun.
So it worked out then?
Worked out just fine.
Yeah. How's your romance?
Sorry,
How's your romantic life?
my romantic life right now, focus on work, so nothing there. A roller coaster, a lot of things to a lot of stories to tell, but right now it's not going anymore.
Good. So you're staying in Canada, you're gonna make films, you're gonna get
Yeah,
it done.
that's the plan. That's the
All right,
plan.
man. Well, congratulations on the success of the film so far. I think it's fantastic. You don't see films like this, at least like I see a lot of short films, like pure drama, meaning that there's like I said, there's so much subtext in the dialogue, right? So in mother daughter, but it's also like there's a lot there. There's a lot of meat on the bone, as they say.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So keep making movies.
Yeah, of course. Good. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's talk again when your next film's made.
Of course, of course. Happy
Thanks,
to
man.
do it.